Hello everybody, and welcome to another great match of StarCraft 2. I'm your host, Big Blue Firebat, and again, spawning here as the Red Terran, we are going to have SlayerSBoxeR, and his opponent is going to be none other than LaLuSh, a Swedish player playing for Team Millennium, and we are going to get rolling into Game 3 in this best of 5 series for the GeForce Pro-Am playoff rounds. LaLuSh, in particular, has got to be feeling pretty good about the fact that he was able to even up the score, able to put things up as 1-1 in this best of 5, moving the momentum back into his favor a little bit, or at least not so far out of it. But BoxeR is BoxeR. He is known for a reason. For his part, he is probably going to be able to at least give this a good match, a good show, and give all of us something fun to watch. The map is going to be Shakuras Plateau. This is a very nice map, a fairly balanced map, large enough to be macro, large enough to have good macro possibilities, but small enough to allow for early pressure and interesting early game shenanigans. And this is an interesting version of the map, and you will notice that at the bottom of each player's ramp is a neutral supply depot. This disallows Protoss and Terran players from walling in their Zerg opponents. But hold the phone, we have BoxeR setting himself up for some early aggression already, in fact even hiding a little barracks right here outside of his base, completely away from his ramp. He's not anywhere near that, so when LaLuSh scouts out, he is not going to scout that third base over here, probably not. Although we'll see what he's doing. He's running around here. What's he going to do? He's going to see the second barracks that was going down. The first one was hidden, but the second one was just barely visible, and that is huge. That is going to allow him to prepare himself for the 2 racks pressure. So already this game is getting off to a very, very intense start. BoxeR is offering a very strong position of aggression. He is telling LaLuSh that I am going to come into your base. I am going to throw Marines at you all over the place. And I don't care what you're doing, this is going to happen, you better get ready to deal with it. But LaLuSh is just calmly setting up his hatchery. He's got his spawning pool almost done. He has no gas yet. He's probably going to be relying on Queens, Zerglings, and Spine Crawlers to deal with things. I'm sorry, he has a spawning pool coming in, not a Spine Crawler. And we've got the Overlord just hanging out. He's going to keep an eye for any kind of bunkers that are going down, and a drone coming to harass this SCV, which is throwing down a bunker. So we are going to see some 2 racks pressure coming for BoxeR, and going to see how LaLuSh manages to deal with this. He is sending out most of his drones to handle this. The SCV is already going down. A bit of a miss micro or some loss of control from BoxeR. Now here comes the Marine coming in, and the bunker is canceled. The Marine is forced to fall back, realizing that this is not going to be very helpful. 2 more SCVs coming off the line. So BoxeR is potentially going to throw a little bit of pressure on LaLuSh's front door, but I don't think that this is going to be able to do anything at all. There are already Zerglings coming out in the field, lots of drones at this natural expansion, and even another 6 Zerglings out here. So 8 Zerglings and a Spine Crawler are definitely going to be able to repel anything that BoxeR has to offer. And BoxeR, for his part, still just producing Marines out of these very oddly placed barracks. The point for 2 racks aggression has kind of passed. He decided not to go ahead with it, although he does have a strong position in the center of the map, which will allow him to deal with Zerglings that try to cross over. And we have a drone up here scouting around. No gas for BoxeR. He's decided to go for an economic macro-style build. He's going to set down his command center right here at his natural expansion. This poor SCV is getting a little bit getting harassed a little bit by the drone, which is going to force this other scouting SCV to come back and continue repairing it. And these barracks are finally being moved to the front door of his natural expansion, and I'm kind of surprised that it took so long for him to get over there. I guess he just wanted to get those few extra Marines to get out and do some damage. He was not too worried about a Zergling run by. And LaLuSh throwing down an extractor on BoxeR's gas. I think that this is mostly just to have an idea as to when BoxeR takes his gas timing. No, it is used to continue to delay in order to keep that drone alive so it's not harassed by SCVs. And now BoxeR poking up this ramp, seeing this Spine Crawler, seeing all these Zerglings, realizing that there is no way those Marines are going to be able to do anything. And LaLuSh is just keeping this drone alive, keeping it active. If he cancels this extractor at the last minute, he will get his drone back. But he lets the extractor finish. And now this is just going to block BoxeR's second gas for a little while longer, limiting his options. But with this natural going down and 2 other Vespian geysers coming up as a potential resource, BoxeR is going to be fine for whatever tech path he chooses, and still maintaining a lot of control in the center of the map. LaLuSh trying to break down these rocks, maybe going for his smiley face expansion at the 6 o'clock position. but more likely he is just trying to set up some paths for him to run around instead of having to take the center where BoxeR is going to want to hold a strong position. Now this is interesting. He still only has 1 gas, and we're moving into the 7-minute mark. No lair tech. We should have Zergling speed, not even research. Zergling speed has not even started yet. So this is a very late this is a very late version of Zergling speed, a very late timing for the gases to go down. I should expect to see 3 more gas geysers, 3 more extractors coming down for the LaLuSh very, very quickly if he wants to have a chance of getting some of those higher tech units before BoxeR starts to overwhelm him with, well, I'm going to have to go with his strategy of siege tanks and marines, considering all the barracks and the factory going down, plus this tech lab. We're probably going to see Stim going down so that he can start doing that crazy death push of siege tanks and Stim marines across the map. And LaLuSh now has his 2 more extractors out. He is definitely aware of this command center, this orbital command now, right here. So he's going to be thinking that BoxeR is probably just sitting back, macroing up a little bit, certainly building an army, but perhaps not going to move out quite yet. BoxeR, for his part, holding this Xel'Naga watchtower. These towers extremely important in any map, any matchup, no matter what. Holding these towers gives you a huge amount of information about tactically critical sections of the map, and that poor Zergling is going to get just annihilated. These Zerglings finally killing these rocks. It takes 5 Zerglings forever to peck them away, but now this Marine, realizing he has been scouted, scurries on out of there. BoxeR does not want to waste any of his Marines if he doesn't have to. And we're going to see what LaLuSh is going to choose to do. If the game is kind of in his hands right now, he has the opportunity to make some choices, whether he wants to go for some kind of aggression or if he's just going to wait, be passive, let BoxeR come to him so that he can respond to his unit composition. We have creep being spread down here, very important to get these creep tumors going. Interesting fact about creep tumors, the more tumors you have, the faster the creep is going to spread around. So keep that in mind as a Zerg player when you're spreading creep around. If you want it to spread quickly, use 3, 5, 6 creep tumors at once, and look how quickly that spreads out. 1 tumor on its own will spread just enough creep in a circular region in order to be able to spread out to the next maximum spot when its timer's up. 3 or more is going to spread that same amount much, much more quickly. And we have LaLuSh taking his 3rd base. He has these rocks open up to take up a potential 4th. He even has this 4th one open here. So we are going to see what he plans to do. And BoxeR is just getting his normal composition. Like I said, Marines and tanks. Why change what works? He was loving it in Game 1. Didn't quite work for him in Game 2, but he put on a good show in Game 2, and now we have Engineering Bay and an Armory going down for his upgrades, and a Spire heading in for LaLuSh. He's popping right here. It is almost done. We have Bailing Speed nearly finished. And we got a drop coming in from BoxeR, 8 Marines dropping down out of this medevac. He's going to scout out this position for a hatchery, and then I expect he's going to move down here and see what he can do to this poor hatchery. Look at that giant bug in there. I guess that's what became of the drone, but he is not long for this world as there are Marines coming in here. But Zerglings and Banelings hanging out here in the center of the map, and with this creep, yeah, they have 30% movement speed. Huge, quick reaction from LaLuSh. He's going to rush in with all of these Zerglings and get a great surround on those Marines and forcing them to run away, hop back in that medevac, and he was trying to... That was a very interesting tactic by BoxeR. He tried to drop the Marines directly on these Banelings in order to waste 2 or more Banelings on a single Marine. Excellent tactic. Excellent way to go. Works very well with Marines. Works even better with Marauders. If you can drop a Marauder or 2 onto a group of clump Banelings, you will basically waste tons of them because it takes like 4 or 5 Banelings to kill a single Marauder. A very good tactic to keep in mind if you have the micro, if you have the attention, if you have the APM to spare, drop 1 Marine, 1 Marauder on a group of Banelings and you will just waste a ton of them. Great tactic, keep it in mind as a Terran player. Now there is good creep spread going down. He is already halfway across the map, and also dropping down creep here is going to prevent BoxeR from placing his command center, which he definitely wants to do in order to stay ahead of the game. And now these Mutalisks are going to intercept this medevac. Medevac is going to go down. Overlord getting sniped, and now there are tons of Banelings, tons of Zerglings, tons of Marines though, and a good siege position for these tanks, just laying down the hurt. Already nearly halfway finished with the +1 upgrades for the tanks, +1 for the Marines already finished, and these Zerglings, if they don't get the level 1 Carapace upgrade, they're going to start getting one shot by these tanks instead of two. And now this command center waiting for this creep to recede, still cannot quite land. That Overlord definitely paying for itself in his ability to delay the timing of BoxeR's expansion. And now we have Mutalisk just sitting here on the edge. Slightly, are they out of vision range? Just out of vision range of BoxeR. Good positioning by LaLuSh. He is going to be able to do whatever he wants with them, and what he wants to do apparently is circle around, scout in, see what he can do. And he's going to take down some SCVs, but these Marines stimming up immediately, running in, chasing away those Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks are able to fly right over this ramp where the Marines can't go. And I'm going to circle back, see what they can do, but I think that LaLuSh should get in here and do some damage to this base. There's a couple missile turrets in the mineral line, but oh, never mind. These production structures are covered, and LaLuSh probably spotted that. But still, going with his creep spread, doing a ton of things at once. The APM on both of these players is very high, and we have lots of multitasking going on all around. A couple SCVs going down, no missile turrets on this side of the base, and we have the refinery getting attached, the engineering bay getting attacked. Almost dead. Is this +2 going to finish? We'll see here. 2 more 8 seconds. 1 more 8 seconds. And the +2 finishes just as the engineering bay goes down. That is huge. That is going to make those Marines extra effective. Very, very good timing on that. But BoxeR's decided to push out through the center of the map, throwing down a scan to kill these creep tumors, reduce the speed, reduce the vision. But there are Mutalisks in his base. These Mutalisks are going to town, rocking things with their glaive worms. I feel like BoxeR has got to respond to this unless he thinks he can end the game right here, right now. There is a strong siege line here. He can probably do a lot of damage to any Zerglings or Banelings that come running in. But he is still not responding to these Mutalisks. The engineering bays have gone down. That means there are no more missile turrets to be built until he makes another one. Supply depots going down. He is supply locked, going after this 4th expansion from LaLuSh, and he is doing very well, forcing the Zerglings into this strong choke here. And one interesting thing is this creep tumor is actually not super useful. It can certainly watch the watchtower, but because of that high grass and the fact that there are no other creep tumors around. But wait a second, there is a big drop coming down for BoxeR. But oh man, the humanity, they get crushed by those banelings. Acid and corpses everywhere. They were just melted away. Medevac is fleeing this Mutalisk, and now there are more Marines attacking this hatchery, almost taking it down, but the banelings forcing them to run away. Big siege hits coming in, and BoxeR is doing his trademark siege push with the Terrans and with the siege tanks and the Marines. But a bit of bad micro going for that hatchery, but losing a ton of Marines. And there are still Mutalisks in this base. They are still going to town on these construction structures now. They have killed a ton of supply depots. They've killed armories. They have killed engineering bays. And now we have infestors out, 4 fungal growths, and even a greater spire coming in. 6 corruptors hatching very soon. We're going to see broodlords coming in, and I feel like BoxeR has waited too long. I feel like his position is a little too weak in here. I think he should fall back, finally deal with these Mutalisks, but no, he is letting them go to town on his base. These Mutalisks have been in his base for like 4 minutes now. They are just destroying everything, and LaLuSh doesn't care. He's cool. He doesn't need Mutalisks. He is sitting here. He's happy with his Zerglings, Banelings, and his Infestors, and soon he is going to have Broodlords. He's got his next base going up here, about to finish. He's got his other base already taken out down here. A couple of larvae to use, but he has good saturation. Let's see what he's got here for a drone count. 81 drones to 50 SCVs. He has got the income advantage. He's got the harvester advantage, and he has still got the tactical advantage, forcing this starport to lift up and move towards these missile turrets. It is burning. We'll see if we get an SCV coming over to repair, but I am totally surprised at how long these Mutalisks have been hanging out in this base. Utterly shocked by LaLuSh's audacity to hang out in the Terran base, and by BoxeR's refusal to deal with them. I think that has been a bit of a game changer here. I think he could have sent 8, 10, or 12 Marines back from his initial push here, been a little more defensive with his siege tanks, but now we have a drop coming in for BoxeR, which was probably spotted by LaLuSh, considering the creep tumor was here. He is no doubt going to be ready for it, and we will see what kind of damage BoxeR can do with this attack. We have drones going down, spine crawler going down, another spine crawler going down. Those are drones and those spine crawlers all taken out. So 4 drones gone down, 3 of them turning into spine crawlers, and we have the hatchery getting attacked. Mutalisks flying in, but getting sniped down by the Marines, and Banelings coming in for some damage, and that is just a sticky situation for any Terran player, with Banelings coming at you from the ground, Mutalisks attacking you from the air, and this looks bad. We have Broodlords coming in, but there's a Thor on the field. If these Broodlords clump up enough, those Thor's Javelin missiles can do a ton of damage, particularly with a +1 upgrade, and we'll see how they do. But there are so many Zerglings coming in. Fungal Growth going down on all those Marines, and the Banelings and the Zerglings and the Broodlords utterly destroy the Marines, and I think that this is going to be a big problem. BoxeR is trapped in the center. We have Broodlords raining down death and destruction with those Broodlings, with those Needle Spines.